November the 14th, 2018, Oman 5, Arabic. I've long wanted to know Arabic, and with my appointment to Oman, it became, for me, a necessity. My predecessor didn't bother, and I suspect that was true also of his predecessor. Neither were greatly interested in language as such, but for me it was a necessity. I had to learn it, I had to know it, not only for the work, but also for the full enjoyment of Oman. Arabic is acknowledged to be a hard language to learn. Its script presents difficulties, which of course you can learn and become familiar with, but merely to open an Arab grammar book and flick through the pages will show what an enormous undertaking it is. That is, to become proficient in the written language. The demotic or spoken casual language of every day is probable to pick up sufficient phrases and sufficient usages of subject and object and so forth to pass and to manage day-to-day affairs. But I was keen to develop a more intimate knowledge of the language because I really wanted to understand what was going on around me. And for me, learning a language is dependent on reading, on study. I can't pick it up just by listening. This method of direct method of learning is I think not suitable certainly for this written Arabic, and for me, because of my hearing difficulties, is effectively impossible. Just to illustrate the point, that there are 8 letters in the Arab alphabet. 4 letters in the Arab alphabet, each of which has a second, deeper sound, more emphatic sound, making 8 sounds in all around the D, T, Z, and a letter in Arabic which is not found in other languages, all of which to me just sound like a buzz, a Z. You can learn it on the page. And in the course of my studies of Arabic over the years, and all but 2 of which are books I acquired during my time in Oman, I find that I have 2 dictionaries, 11 instructional books, and ranging from an illustrated children's alphabet to a reader in modern Arabic and another in Quranic Arabic, plus a book of proverbs and a book of Gulf courtesies. So that's quite a library, and each time I saw and bought the book, I hoped it would provide me with shortcuts to success, sprinkle me with stardust, but alas, it's hard grind, and recently, having had the privilege of reading the letters to home from John Wilkinson, in our friend in Chamonix, who went through MICAS, and his letters to home he refers repeatedly to the difficulty of learning Arabic and getting, as it were, over the hump. Well, I have to say, despite all my efforts, I never got fully over the hump. My first contact with Arabic was in Beirut. I didn't need Arabic there. My working languages were English and French. But it was in Beirut that I first was surrounded by Arabic in newspapers, shop names, street names, and so forth. And it was there that I met my first Arabic speaker, English colleague Arabic speaker, and I don't mean someone who's got a working knowledge of Arabic, but someone with a high academic standard, James Craig, who eventually, after he retired from the Foreign Service, became visiting professor of Arabic at Oxford. How I envied him in his command of the language. My next appointment in Libya brought me much closer to Arabic, and it's there that I started to attempt to learn Arabic. To start with, I obtained from the local BP office a glossary that they prepared for their workers, their staff in Oman. I mean, for example, it wasn't like Arabic for, quote, well is spudded. No, but it was full of useful colloquial phrases about how to get to places and so forth. And I got a teacher, in fact a member of the Arabic member, Libyan member of the BP staff, to come and teach me. And I told him that I really wanted to learn it not just transliterated from the Arabic into English, but I really wanted to learn Arabic proper. And he then produced for me to have a look at, or a children's, as it were, ABC, an Arabic ABC for children, with words accompanied by a picture of a chicken or a motor car or something, which of course was quite useful. But my real impetus to buckling down to getting on with Arabic came when I met and worked with an RAF officer, surprisingly, an RAF officer who had the command of Arabic that I envied. And he was not a high academic or senior officer, and I never discovered how he knew his Arabic, but it was so fluent and so complete. And he'd obviously studied it, because as I spoke to him about my ambitions, he gave me a copy of the grammar which he had used, and what was it called? Perhaps it doesn't matter.